Greetings. My name is Isaac Fitzsimmons, and I am going to be discussing 4 concepts from the course Marketing in an Analog World at the University of Illinois' online MBA program. The first concept I'm going to discuss is domination, and specifically how the digital is dominating the marketing world. Even more specifically, I'm going to discuss efficiency and how digital products are being marketed efficiently in the digital world. So one example of this is Google featured snippets. When you search for a term in Google, you will type in a phrase and results related to that phrase will pop at the top of the page. And often there will be snippets that give a little more specific detail to the thing or item you searched for. For example, if I search how to replace a door, it will show at the top of the page some items related to how to do that. And even another thing that's cool is it'll show videos sometimes related to the item you search for. And you can also see at the top companies which paid to have their search results towards the top. So one recommendation I have for companies related to this is mobile. You need to make sure you are able to have mobile efficient and friendly searching and websites. So when customers are looking for something related to your product and they come to your website, they can do so on a mobile device because our world is becoming increasingly more mobile. The second concept I'm going to review is resistance and resistance to the digital world by the analog. Many people still like things, physical things. So an example of this is physicality. And something that's near to my world right now are weddings. I'm getting married in 3.5 weeks, and weddings are a huge market. And there happens to be quite a few physical analog products out there which are still resisting the digital. One of those is invitations. Now you can do invitations online, completely digital, but there's something about a physical wedding invitation, the tangibility of it, the excitement of it that still persists today. And so we did send out physical invitations, and that's something that's very prevalent in the wedding industry. An example or a recommendation I have for companies who are existing in this analog world still and resisting some of the digital would be to look for partners. So for example, in the wedding industry, if you have a invitation business, you should seek out other firms in that wedding industry, such as flower shops. A third concept I will discuss is synergy. So how are the analog and the digital coming together in synergy? One example of this is touch tech. And by touch tech, we mean products that incorporate a physical touch to them while also having something digital about them. So an example of this is interactive touch kiosks. You maybe have seen these in cities, major cities. One major city that's near my home is downtown Phoenix, and they are implementing digital kiosks there to help local residents and visitors find things around the downtown area. So this combines the physical component of a kiosk that's there in its presence, and it also combines the touch portion, the digital portion, where you can look through various areas in the downtown and find what you're looking for. An recommendation I have for companies doing this would be to make it smarter. So you got to be smarter than the analog versions of these things. So when there's, for example, maybe updates to traffic flows or closed roads or closed buildings in the downtown Phoenix area, they need to make sure that the digital is updating those in real time. So if a customer is looking or a pedestrian is looking for traffic, for instance, or looking for directions, they can see that, oh, well, that road's closed on that digital kiosk. A final concept I will discuss today is transformation. How are companies transforming their marketing in an analog world to be more digital? And to describe this, I'm going to go over embracing. How have companies embraced the digital transformation? And not surprisingly, I'm going to discuss the thing that I'm wearing a lot of swag from, my company, Turo. I give out a lot of things. And Turo took a traditional industry, the rental car industry, and made it more digital. You can search for vehicles directly from your smartphone as a renter, and people who own the vehicles at their homes will list them, and you can get connected with them to rent their vehicles. So this is an example of embracing the digital because Turo is using smartphones to connect people with rental vehicles. This is a low cost entry. There's hardly any barriers. If you have a smartphone, you can access this marketplace and rent a vehicle. So one way that Turo can further market this, and a recommendation I have, is looking for ways to outsource the content, finding user-generated content. So they can go to Facebook, they could go to other social media sites and seek out testimonials from people that have had successful rental experiences with Turo, or even hosts that are generating income and having success stories. I found this example to be most interesting because I'm biased and Turo is my company. And one thing I learned about my company that I didn't know before this course is we already do a lot of this, seeking out user-generated content and testimonials through our various social media sites. And we share those in our public blog posts on our Turo website. Thank you for listening to my discussion of our course content of marketing in an analog world today.